Tony Robbins' approach to relationships emphasizes the importance of understanding human needs and effective communication to foster lasting personal connections. At the core of his philosophy is the idea that every individual is driven by specific needs, such as certainty, variety, significance, love, connection, growth, and contribution. By identifying and respecting these needs, Robbins teaches that individuals can cultivate stronger relationships that are fulfilling and enduring. This approach underscores the main topic by highlighting the integral role of introspection and empathy in building connections, suggesting that relationships thrive when there's a mutual understanding and appreciation of each other's fundamental desires and motivations. One real-world application of Robbins' strategy is the practice of active listening within relationships. Active listening involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding to others, a skill Robbins emphasizes as critical for successful communication. By truly hearing what partners express about their needs and emotions, individuals can show understanding and empathy, creating a more supportive and nurturing environment. Another example is Robbins' emphasis on the importance of shared goals and visions. Couples or partners who engage in planning and creating future aspirations together often experience greater alignment and purpose, which helps reinforce their bond and commitment over time. Supporters of Robbins' approach often appreciate his emphasis on practical psychology and proactive strategies, noting that his insights into human behavior and motivation can demystify the complexities of relationships. Proponents argue that his techniques empower individuals to take control of their interactions and develop more conscious, intentional connections. However, potential challenges to Robbins' strategies include the one-size-fits-all critique. Some argue that his methods might oversimplify the nuances of personal relationships, which can be highly varied and influenced by cultural, socioeconomic, and personal differences. Critics also contend that Robbins' approach may place undue responsibility on individuals to manage relational dynamics, potentially overlooking systemic or environmental factors beyond individual control. Tony Robbins' approach influences other aspects of building lasting relationships by promoting continuous personal growth and understanding. His strategies encourage individuals to not only work on improving their interactions with others, but also cultivate self-awareness, fostering a cycle of personal development that enriches all areas of life. Ultimately, by focusing on understanding and meeting human needs, Robbins' approach serves as a foundational element that interlinks with communication, empathy, and shared goals, creating a holistic framework for nurturing and maintaining personal relationships. Understanding needs and values in relationships is a fundamental concept in Tony Robbins' strategies for building lasting personal relationships. At its core, this concept involves recognizing what both parties in a relationship genuinely need and value to feel fulfilled and appreciated. Needs are deeply rooted desires that, when met, contribute to a person's well-being and happiness, while values represent the principles and standards that guide an individual's actions and judgments. The significance of this concept in creating lasting relationships cannot be understated. By identifying and respecting the needs and values of others, individuals cultivate a deeper level of empathy and connection, which forms the foundation for strong, lasting relationships. When partners are aware of each other's core desires and principles, they can nurture a more harmonious and supportive bond. One real-world application of this principle can be seen in romantic relationships. For instance, if one partner values quality time and the other prioritizes acts of service, understanding and accommodating these differing values can help both individuals feel more understood and appreciated. Another example is in the workplace, where managers who recognize the differing needs and values of their team members, such as the need for autonomy or the value of collaboration, can foster a more positive and productive work environment. Support for this idea is widespread among relationship experts, who often emphasize the importance of communication in understanding and aligning with a partner's needs and values. By openly discussing these elements, individuals can prevent misunderstandings and grievances that undermine relationships. However, challenges do exist. People may struggle to articulate their needs and values or misinterpret those of others, leading to conflicts. Furthermore, cultural differences can introduce varying perspectives on what constitutes a need or a value, adding a layer of complexity. This focus on understanding needs and values heavily influences other aspects of building lasting relationships. By addressing this core principle, individuals set a precedent for ongoing communication, empathy, and adaptability within their interactions. It also enhances personal growth, as both parties learn to compromise and respect differences, making the relationship more resilient against external pressures. In summary, understanding needs and values is a pivotal aspect of Tony Robbins' strategies for forming enduring personal relationships. Recognizing these elements paves the way for deeper connections and more meaningful, supportive interactions, ultimately enriching the quality and longevity of the relationships we cherish. Effective communication and active listening are core tenets of Tony Robbins' strategies for building enduring personal relationships. Effective communication involves the clear and articulate expression of thoughts and feelings while ensuring that the message is understood as intended. Active listening, on the other hand, is the conscious effort to not only hear, but also understand and respond to what is being said. This involves giving full attention to the speaker, acknowledging their message, and providing thoughtful feedback. In the context of building lasting personal relationships, these skills are vital. Meaningful connections are rooted in mutual understanding and respect, both of which are facilitated by effective communication and active listening. Robbins often emphasizes that relationships thrive when individuals feel heard and valued, which requires genuine engagement from all parties involved. An example of this concept in action can be seen in conflict resolution within relationships. When partners take the time to actively listen to each other's perspectives during a disagreement, they are more likely to reach a resolution that is satisfactory for both parties. This not only resolves the immediate issue, but also strengthens the relationship in the long run. Another real-world application can be found in the workplace. Colleagues who practice effective communication and active listening are better equipped to collaborate effectively, leading to improved team dynamics and productivity. Many relationship experts support the belief that these skills are the bedrock of healthy interactions. For instance, research consistently shows that couples who communicate effectively tend to report higher satisfaction and stability in their relationships. However, challenges to these concepts do exist. One potential challenge is the inherent difficulty in breaking poor communication habits that individuals may have developed over time. Furthermore, there are alternative viewpoints suggesting that communication styles can vary greatly across cultures, which means what is considered effective in one cultural context may not be in another. This point is intricately connected to other aspects of building personal relationships, such as trust and emotional intimacy. Effective communication and active listening facilitate a deeper understanding of one another's needs and desires, laying the groundwork for trust to flourish. Without these skills, misunderstandings and misinterpretations are more likely to occur, which can erode the foundation of trust in any relationship. By prioritizing these communication techniques, individuals can nurture more resilient and fulfilling relationships in alignment with Tony Robbins' holistic approach to personal development and interpersonal connections. Building trust and emotional connections are fundamental strategies in Tony Robbins' approach to cultivating lasting personal relationships. Trust can be understood as the firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone. Emotional connections, on the other hand, refer to the deep bonds formed through shared experiences, empathy, and emotional understanding. Together, these elements foster relationships that are not only enduring, but also deeply satisfying and enriching. The significance of building trust and emotional connections in personal relationships is immense. These components form the bedrock of any meaningful interaction and serve as a stabilizing force in relationships. Trust allows individuals to be vulnerable, share their true selves, and collaborate effectively, while emotional connections ensure these interactions are genuine and fulfilling. They lead to open communication, empathy, and mutual respect, enabling relationships to withstand challenges and grow over time. In practice, these concepts can be observed in various real-world scenarios. One example is in the context of romantic relationships, where partners who trust each other and share a strong emotional connection are more likely to navigate challenges successfully. They engage in open dialogue, understand and support each other's emotional needs, and foster a sense of security and intimacy. Another example is in professional settings, where leaders who build trust with their teams through transparency and empathy create a more cohesive and motivated workforce. Employees feel valued and understood, which enhances productivity and job satisfaction. Experts agree on the critical role of trust and emotional connections in building lasting relationships. Psychologists and relationship counselors often emphasize the importance of these elements in fostering healthy and durable bonds. However, building trust and emotional connections is not without its challenges. Trust can be fragile, easily broken by dishonesty or unmet expectations, and emotional connections may be strained by communication barriers or emotional misalignments. These issues highlight the importance of continuous effort and intentionality in nurturing relationships. There are also alternative viewpoints suggesting that while trust and emotional connections are important, they must be balanced with personal boundaries and individual growth to avoid dependency. Nonetheless, in the broader context of personal relationships, these elements are largely seen as complementary to Robbins's strategies. Overall, building trust and emotional connections is intricately linked with other aspects of Tony Robbins's approaches, such as effective communication and mutual understanding. These elements reinforce each other, creating a dynamic environment where relationships can truly thrive. By focusing on trust and emotional connections, individuals lay a solid foundation for enduring personal bonds.